It is absolutely valid to forgive if both parties want to work in the relationship because there's a bigger loss here.
He said, I'm from the Caribbean. He's like, oh, do you have any friends or family members or maybe a cute cousin that I can visit in the Caribbean?
A woman that's posting thirst traps in the West, make sure that you don't date a woman that posts thirst traps in a foreign country.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's hop right into this.
One thing I've been noticing, right? Whenever you call out Black women on certain toxic traits and negative behavior, a bunch of them will run to the comment section talking about not all Black women are like that. But if you're praising Black women, calling them queens and goddesses, they're silent. You don't hear them say not all Black women are queens and goddesses. On the flip side of that, however, if you were to call out Black men on their negative traits, a bunch of them co-signing, yes, Black men are dusties, Black men do this wrong. However, let you be praising Black men and see how they run over here talking about not all Black men are great provider, protectors, and leaders. Not all Black men, because then they start inserting about their dusty baby daddies. Y'all notice that pattern and see the hypocrisy in that, or is it just me?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think most women, I don't think they realize the men they choose, that's the problem. Like guys know, a guy will know, okay, yeah, I chose the wrong one. I chose a girl that had a baby daddy, or I chose a girl that was for the streets. And I didn't want to see she was for the streets, or a guy could be oblivious to it. But then that right there is not the problem. See, the problem is that they think the guy they're choosing, well, it's true, every woman is choosing them, but is that the guy that they should be dating? No. They probably turned that guy down. And they have no clue. They're oblivious to why guys always say to them, you need to be more accountable. There's a reason for that, right? Guys are not just pointing a finger at you, but because you're showing it all over social media. And guys are done with it. Let me hop on to the next one.
If you stayed with your husband after you found out that he cheated on you, I totally get it. And I want to give you some credit for it. It's not easy to forgive that. So let's shine some light on it. Hello, my name is Carla, and it's time to challenge your belief system. I want to go ahead and put out a disclaimer. This video is not promoting cheating. I'm not encouraging for you to stay in a toxic relationship where there's abuse, physical, emotional, or psychological abuse. I am simply giving credit to those women who feel alone because they stayed with their cheating husband. This is specifically for women that already had a family established. I'm also not saying that my partner cheated on me, because that's not the case. As women, the moment that we decide to get married and have children, that is a moment that we need to understand we have a burden to bear. Our burden as women is not to provide, but it's to keep harmony within the family. That includes children. We need to understand that as soon as we take away a pillar or a foundation of a child who is barely developing, we are setting them up for doom. This is coming from experience. The moment my parents split for 2 years and took a break was a moment my life changed 180 for the worst. Within those 2 years, I needed to drop out of college, and I let a very toxic man into my life because I was very unsure, uncertain, and confused. Because my foundation was not strong. And this is when I was a lot older that I had more independence when my parents were taking a break. Imagine the detrimental effects of a child that is in middle school or in high school. And you can reverse that and say precisely that is why you need to get out of a toxic relationship. Again, this is not talking about a toxic relationship. This is specifically talking about a husband that cheats or a wife that cheats once and confesses to the partner of their sins. It is absolutely valid to forgive if both parties want to work in the relationship because there's a bigger loss here. And I repeat, I say husband, not boyfriend, not fiance, husband. This is just one out of the many reasons why I understand women that decide to stay in their marriage after finding out that their husband was unfaithful. But the point of this video is to support those women who actually stay in a marriage, not judge them. Because like it or not everybody is strong enough, emphasis on, to leave. It requires strength if you stay or if you leave. If you stay because it requires the strength to forgive and be compassionate to your partner and start all over. And if you leave because it is scary to walk away from something familiar. Women are bound to lose in the situation if they stay or if they go. But the difference here is deciding the future of your children. I know that we all like to think that this world revolves around us and it all depends on our happiness and our peace, blah, blah, blah. But the moment that we as women decide to have a child, that is no longer the case, unfortunately. Not for at least 20 years. And I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, as a woman, have you judged anyone for staying in their marriage after finding out that one of their partners was unfaithful? Because I can almost guarantee you that judging someone because they decide to stay does not make you a better person. Ladies, be wise.
She's so right. She's so right. And what do guys always say? What's the known thing? Single woman keep other women single. She made a good point in the video. She said, imagine the kids in high school, and this happened because when I was in high school, both parents, they directed me in a way to where I knew to work for the rest of my life. They told me, okay, 16, you're no longer getting allowance. From 16 on, I did something to make income for myself. I made sure I had income because I learned responsibility. And what she's saying is just because a man cheats, even if it was a woman, right? And you're married. That was the key right there. You're married. And say it's not something that's done on a consistent basis. Maybe he confessed his sins or she confessed her sins to you. Yeah, I could see a person saying, I'll sweep that under the rug because look what you're giving up. You're giving up so much more. Look at the date market nowadays. You're going to give up that person making that one mistake for somebody that's for the streets? Because that's what's going to happen. Somebody that doesn't know how to deal with people, it's going to be a nightmare. But let me hop on to the next one.
Coming from the grocery store, I met this guy. He started hitting on me. But of course, okay, I'm married. I'm so sorry. Thank you. And he noticed an accent. He's like, oh, wow. Where are you from? I said, I'm from the Caribbean. He's like, oh. Do you have any friends or family members or maybe a cute cousin that I can visit in the Caribbean and possibly marry and bring her here? You know, I'm a passport bro. That wouldn't be an issue. I travel a lot.
Oh, here we go again.
Huh. No. Sir, you don't need to go to the Caribbean. However, I can fund a one-way ticket for you to where I know you can find your belle in France. Enjoy.
That was wild. That was crazy. So a passport bro said to her, do you know anyone out there where you are? Maybe she could be Jamaica. I don't know where she's from. She didn't say. That I can go see. She said, no. Caribbean woman will hurt your feelings. And I want to know to any people out there, because I know passport bros aren't going to the Caribbean countries. They're going to some, but not Jamaica. They're not going there. Those women are used to what they're used to. And they can be a little demanding. Also, they're expecting. And she's right. They'll hurt your feelings, right? That's great on her for directing a passport bro in the right way. I commend her for that. Because she's not lying. She's not lying when she said that. Yes, that man, I don't think it would be France. But yeah, he probably may be France. But he would have easier time going to other places. That's why most passport bros are going where they're going now. Because they find a woman that are feminine and delicate there, and they're happy. Let me get on to the next video.
If you guys follow me, you know that I'm a huge supporter of passport bros. Completely understand it, and I support it, and I get it. The thing that I'll add, this is just my 2 cents, just a little 2 cents of advice, because I do advocate for men. Something that I will want to note to men is that when you're looking for a wife abroad or when you're dating abroad, just make sure that you're sticking to the same standards that you want when you're dating in the West. So if there's things that you don't put up with in the West, make sure that you don't go to another country to put up with that.
Oh, she's so right. She is right. This happens all the time. And it happens a lot in the Philippines. I see in other countries too. Tons of guys do that. They won't put up with women's nonsense back home, but then go across the waters and put up with a woman not calling them, and little things like, being out all night and getting drunk, but would never do that in the West. Or the guy wouldn't know that he shouldn't be doing that. But still, guys are putting up with stuff that's total red flags. and accept it because woman is from another country. It's the same woman. There's modern women in these other countries.
There. Because something that men have to be aware of is that there are predatory women everywhere. And because you're going to places where it's very touristy, there are a lot of women there that will take advantage of men that are passport bros. Because you're in touristy areas, it's a little bit, it can be a little bit unsafe to meet the wrong type of women. So just beware. My advice to avoid this is to make sure that you stick to your boundaries and your standards. If you don't want a woman that's posting thirst traps in the West, make sure that you don't date a woman that posts thirst traps in a foreign country. If you don't want a woman with a lot of tattoos in the West, make sure that you don't accept a woman in a foreign country that has a lot of tattoos. This will save you such big headaches. I know this sounds like common sense, but I just want to remind you guys just to be safe and always stick to your standards. And one more thing that I'll say is that a smart thing to do is that when you're traveling abroad and you're in a foreign country and you want to date, etc., it would be wise to make friends there first. You as a man should make friends there because they can actually help you out in terms of letting you know what areas are good, letting you know what is normal, what's not, letting you know about the culture, taking you to places where you can meet more traditional minded women. So I would suggest for passport bros, if you are going abroad, explore, get to know the country, get to know the culture, make friends and date, but be very careful also. Don't fall for the first woman that you meet abroad. Although there are more traditional values in other countries, there are still predatory women. So be aware and be safe.
No, it's very true. And I can tell you guys a story. This happened with a guy I know, right? It's two guys I met. It's him and his son. His son is younger. His son is in his 20s, right? I spoke with them yesterday. And they brought a guy out here who is a little slow. He's not all the way there, but he's a little off. And you can clearly see it when he's walking down a block. So, and I'm talking about the predatory woman. Let me tell you guys what happened. So he's walking. They said, "How you doing?" He's like, "How you doing?" And they said hello to his son, like, "How you doing?" And the other guy's just smiling. All of the girls didn't go up to him. They didn't go up to his son. They went up to the guy that was smiling. And why did they do that? This happened in the Philippines. Because yes, he bumped into a predatory mindset woman, right? And this happens. And they do that and they target foreigners. And what happened to him, they seen him from a mile away. As soon as they seen him, he talked, they seen something's off. And women in these other countries, they're very, as she said, predatory. They're looking at you and they're like lions. As soon as you show any sign that you're not even killed, they jump on you. And what happened was the girls pounced on him, ended up breaking his heart. She got with him, ended up going back to her man. Crazy thing. It's a long story. I'll make sure to tell that in another video. But yeah, what she's saying, now she's not bashing at all. I've seen her make other videos bashing women, disrespecting passport bros, pretty much on some, how dare you?
How dare you?
I've seen her do it. I respect it, and a lot of guys will say, "Oh, we know that already." It's still good to hear it. You need to hear anything you can, because she gave sound advice, right? She gave sound advice. It's right. You don't want a woman with tattoos in the West? Don't get a woman with tattoos when you leave, right? Get a woman that you don't want to make sure you don't get a woman, it's not out there cursing and vile and disrespectful. Don't get a woman like that abroad, because guys do it. But anyway, guys, thank y'all for watching, and make sure you tread carefully out there. I think what she said, it goes hand in hand with places like Colombia. It's not that, well, it is. It's horrible. What's going on right now is horrible out there. I hate to point a finger to it, but I have to, because guys are being unalived, and that's 8 unalived. That's not even the guys being robbed. There's so many more guys being robbed out there and drugged. So what she said, that goes hand in hand for places like that. So guys, if you do want to go there, make sure you're careful. Don't even deal with a travel company. Find someone that's been in that country and that knows their way around. Make sure their feet are planted and you see them on YouTube, stuff like that. And say if you've seen them on YouTube and they've been there for a long time, say, okay, you know what? Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about, right? And then book a consultation with him and then figure you out from there. Because if not, then you're just making a big mistake. And nobody wants to do that, because you already know it's definitely more to life than going through any nonsense when you leave. See y'all next video.